Okay, apparently we're live. It's me again, the Grey Man, and I'm joined by Richard, the property of Zoey and Noodles. I'm the owner of Zoey and Noodles. I always think the cats own us rather than the other way around, but apparently you're the owner of Zoey and Noodles. And
Well,
cats are the bosses, really. I always think.
yeah.
They like to think that they are anyway. And we're just going to talk some comic book memories with you, basically. Like 5 comic books you're going to show us and tell us what memories are associated with them. So how long have you been reading comics for, do you think, anyway, just before we start?
Since I was about 7 years old.
Do you remember the first characters that you was into where you discovered superheroes?
That was the Incredible Hulk.
Right.
And the Fantastic Four. I loved the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
I loved them.
Because you had a lot of TV, you had a lot of cartoons there, didn't you? You had loads of Saturday morning cartoons that we never got here in the UK. I remember looking at the old comic books, and the centre spread would always be like 5 hours of cartoons they'd be advertising, and like all the different cartoons are coming out. And you had so many cartoons that I was well jealous as a kid because we never read I think we might have read like Scooby Doo, and that was about it, really.
Yeah, they were very campy cartoons, but they were a lot of fun.
Yeah,
you know. Like Shazam. Shazam was very campy, but it was fun. It was fun.
When you're a kid, though, you don't realize it, do you? You don't realize it so much. It seems very much more serious when you're a kid. It's that when you grow up and watch them again, you think, "Wow, is that really what it was like?" So I remember when I was a kid, I loved the Batman TV show because we got that one at least with what's his face? Can't remember the name of the guy now. Oh, anyway, the guy, and I loved that as a kid. But then when I watched it again as a teenager, I couldn't believe it was the same show because as a teenager, like an angsty teenager, like who thinks they know everything, and watching this, I thought, oh my god, that can't be the show that I used to love. It's ridiculous because I was, saw it was coming off. I must watch that because I remember it being really good as a kid, and when I saw it, I was just like shocked at how bad it was to my mind. But then when I got older again, I watched it again as an older person. It was like, I know it's schlocky and campy and all that, but it's just a lot of fun, really. But I think it was when I was that ignorant teenager when you're like, everything's crap, when you're a teenager. But yeah. All right, we've got Slot It Up and we got Cap here. Hey, hi, Captain. Anyway, so are you ready to show us your first comic that you want to talk about? Your first comic memory you're going to share with us?
Yes.
I'll put you full screen so we can see that comic book if you've got it to show us. Sweet.
This is Iron Man 76.
Nice.
And you know why I liked it?
The Hulk.
The Incredible Hulk. Yeah. I found this at this copy, or rather my first copy at a 7-Eleven. And I was enamored by the cover. And then I brought it home. I bought it for a quarter, and I brought it home, and I read it, and I loved it. The story, the art, excellent. Excellent.
Did you have a favorite artist at all in your comic collecting days, or?
I was partial to what is his name now? Let me check here and make sure I've got the artist's name right.
Yeah, I'm terrible
remembering. Sal Buscema.
Oh yeah. There was two, wasn't there? There was two brothers, weren't there? But Buscema, I think Sal Buscema and John Buscema, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think tends to be most people seem to prefer John Buscema's work more, from what I've heard of listening to other people's channels. But I think there are quite a few people who've got a soft spot for Sal as well.
Yeah. I loved his work. I loved it. Cool. He was my favorite artist, hands down. And then later I found Jack Kirby.
Right. And you like him? Yeah, you like him as well. Apex is here as well. Hi, Apex. Got 5 people watching now. That's cool. Lots of good people here.
Hey, everybody.
So, you say you picked it up because of the Hulk. How did you discover the Hulk? Was it the TV show? Remember the TV show was really good, or was that before the TV show started?
This was in 1976, before the TV show got rolling.
Right.
And what really drew me to the Hulk was it was about 1976. I saw this at a Circle K.
Right. That's another
And, yeah, it's
treasury.
Marvel Treasury Edition number 5.
Yeah.
And I was just enthralled. And I asked my dad to buy it for me, and he said, "Son, what you can do is you can do chores around the house. And when you do a chore, you're going to make some money. And when you have enough money, you can buy it." And I was like, "Oh, I don't want to wait." But I did. I did that. And I got this. Along with a package of bubble gum. Me and my brother were both chewing bubble gum and reading our copies of the comic.
Yeah.
This was really good.
Yeah.
Oh, those were.
Is this something about the Hulk that appeals to little kids because he's so strong and so like massive and like, you know, powerful? Do you think that like when you're a little kid and like you're looking at the world around you and everyone's bigger than you and you know you feel kind of like weak and then you see the Hulk and he's got no one can match the Hulk's strength? Do you reckon that could be part of the appeal for the Hulk maybe?
Yeah, that was definitely the fantasy with me, because when I was a kid, I was extremely small. I was very thin, and I was very weak. And the Hulk was kind of like a fantasy for me. Like when I get into trouble, just seeing him change, that was like my fantasy of dealing with problems.
Yeah, I imagine there was probably a lot of kids who liked that sort of aspect, wish they could do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Have you got? So, did you collect regularly when you was a kid, or was it only when you did the chores?
Well, actually, I had to do the chores, but every quarter I earned, I spent on comic books every quarter. I was so enamored. I had to get as many as I possibly could. I loved them.
Did you stick mainly to the Hulk, or did you branch out to? Was it all Marvel, DC? What was your favorite titles when you were first collecting?
Mostly the Incredible Hulk, but later I got into the Fantastic Four and Dick Tracy.
All right, okay. Dick Tracy. Was that Dell or something like that? Who did Dick Tracy comics?
Yeah, that was Dell. And
it was Dell. Wow, that was a good guess.
Yeah, and I think no Goldkey didn't do Dick Tracy, but it was Dell, and I forget the name of the other, Four Color.
Okay, right. Never heard of that one. No, didn't know that one.
Yeah,
that's cool. So, have you got a favorite like Hulk story that you remember from those days of buying? You know, your first early days of buying the comic books, or a favorite villain?
Well, my favorite villain was the Abomination. I loved the Abomination because he was just as strong as Hulk. And when they beat him up, I figured, oh, these are two people that are evenly matched. Yeah. And when they go at it,
it's a good name as well, isn't it? Abomination. It just like it rolls off the tongue, sort of like he kind of like you just get a picture of what he is from his name, the Abomination. It's like it's really, really cool name. Anyway, anything else you want to talk about that first comic book you showed us? Anything else you want to point out?
Well, just that in this comic, the Hulk is not what he appears to be.
Right.
You think it's actually the Hulk, and it turns out it's really not.
Okay.
It's actually an android that's made to look like the Hulk, and it's part of a plan by the Mandarin to test the strength of Iron Man.
Right. By the Mandarin, you say?
Yeah, Mandarin. Yeah.
Mandarin. For a second, I thought you said Mandragon because I remember there was a Dragon Man, but you said Mandarin. Sorry, I was like, I was like, why would the Mandragon? Mandragon's already a giant, super strong person. He wouldn't make a robot. But Mandarin. Yeah, of course. Yeah, he was a
Yeah.
pretty cool Iron Man foe. I don't think. I mean, I read quite a lot of Hulk. I had like a lot of the Peter David run. Did you carry on reading Hulk during the Peter David days?
Yeah, I sure did. I never really lost my fascination with the Hulk. And when I finally read the original story, the two of my favorite stories from the 60s, before I was born, were the first comic, Fantastic Four #1, and Fantastic Four #1 and The Incredible Hulk #1. I love those stories. I love the artwork. I was crazy. Crazy about them.
Yeah. Because that's the thing with the Abomination. I don't remember seeing him fighting the Hulk that much. I read like a good 3 or 4 year run, and I think he only showed up once, and he'd somehow become mutated, and he was in the sewers or something like that. I can't remember what the story was now. But he's still like a classic Hulk villain anyway. And the leader as well was quite a good one. It's like the polar opposite of the Hulk.
Yeah, and the Rhino.
I love that.
Was okay.
Yeah, the Rhino's pretty cool. Anyway, so should we move on to your second comic book memory then?
Yes. My second one is The Incredible Hulk #262.
Let me put you on full screen.
That's
how is it? Full screen. That is this full screen. Yeah, that's it.
The first appearance of Glacier.
I've never heard Glacier.
Yeah.
Glacier as in like an ice glacier kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first and only appearance of Glacier.
I'm gonna say I've never heard of him.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool cover, though. It's quite strange to see the Hulk from behind, smashing through from behind, rather than like coming through towards you, kind of thing. It's unusual for a cover.
Yeah, Glacier has hands that turn people to glass.
Right.
So she also has a glass house.
Okay, because I wasn't too sure if you were saying glacier like an ice or glazier like somebody who does glass work, but it's actually glazier like somebody who puts windows in. Right. It's an interesting name.
Yeah,
glazier.
Oh, yeah.
So how did the Hulk manage to stop himself being turned into glass then?
Well, she starts touching him, and he's still David Banner, and his arm starts to turn to glass, and then he's panic stricken and he's frightened, and he turns into the Hulk, and he's just his normal self again.
Right. I suppose with the Hulk as well, because he's got like a super healing factor as well. So maybe he was changing himself back. His cells were healing themselves as quickly as he was touched. Because you've also got like the grey gargoyle who turns people into stone, haven't you? So there's like a transmutation power. There's a few characters like that. Yeah, I've never heard of the Glazier.
Yeah.
That's an interesting name. It's quite a niche sort of villain.
Yeah, the only villain that ever just lasted one comic, and that was it.
Right.
It's a shame because it was a great character, but Marvel didn't want to do much with that character, so they just killed her off.
Some people are asking, is it a Ditko cover? Do you know? Is it a Steve Ditko cover, that one?
No, this is.
I'll let you put it up. Does it say on there?
Mill. It says Mill and Rom, and this is Ramira, and I think it's. Or am I reading that right? Yeah, Ramira and Mill, whoever those two are.
Okay, maybe someone who didn't do very many covers. I don't think I've heard those names before.
Yeah, so maybe not too many.
Maybe they were like the Glazier and they were one off.
Yeah.
never came back from another showing.
Yeah, I wasn't too impressed with the cover.
Yeah. Roger's saying it's not Al Milgrom, is it?
Al Milgrom.
Or is it just Mill?
Yeah, I think it's Mill, but it could be
Uh,
Al Milgrom. Yeah, it is. That's a Millgrom. Milgrom.
Al Mill, right? So sometimes
That's the artist.
yeah, some of them signatures are hard to make out sometimes, aren't they? Like, especially if they
Yeah.
do a proper little signature, and it's just like sometimes it's a little squiggle, you can't work out what the heck it is. So
Yeah,
anything else?
my brother
Yeah,
signs his name with the squiggle.
yeah. Um, anything else about that comic that we want to share with us?
Well, it's more than one story. Glacier is only in the story for about 12 pages.
Right.
And then you've got another story in here where he encounters something called the Foundling. And it's
Okay.
what is it called? From another world, and it's called the Dire Wraith.
Oh, was it Dire Wraith, is it?
Yeah.
Well, that was the villains from the Rom comics, wasn't it? The Dire Wraith. Let's have a look. Is it? You got a picture of it? The
Oh,
monster.
yeah.
See if-
He's changing form.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't recognize that.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like a Dire Wraith kind of experiment or something.
Yeah.
The found, maybe it was a magic because they did magic and all sorts, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, and he could change form, and he was sort of I think bent on world conquest.
It's always world conquest with these guys. If they set their sights a bit lower, maybe like conquer like a town or a small village, they probably get away with it. It's when they push the boat out too far that they fall flat on their faces. But Hulk was a funny character because he was obviously Banner was clever and he knew stuff, but Hulk was just a lumbering. But he got into so many scrapes. He ended up on different planets and different worlds. He ended up in micro worlds as well, didn't he? Because that's all kinds of weird stuff. Have you got a favorite arc of his, a favorite ongoing story or anything like that, or a favorite creator that wrote for him, or were you not one really to look into who did what on the comic book?
Well, I sort of I like many different stories. If it's a story that goes on and on, I kind of get tired with it after a while.
Yeah.
I like like one or two issues and then you move on,
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes you get the really long stories, and by the time you get towards the end, you start thinking, oh, you can't remember what happened in the beginning. You're like, well, I can't remember what happened in the beginning now. This story's kind of lost its interest for me because I've forgotten, they bring something back in towards the end that you've got to remember from the very first issue. And it's like, I don't remember that happening. Who is this character who suddenly popped up? You've forgotten completely that you've already seen them, but because it was so long ago.
Yeah. They were a lot of times they would do a serial. They would start a story and then they would have comic after comic going into the story, and I just thought, no, I'm more for one comic and one story kind of person. I like to see it sort of.
Yeah, I do like a one shot. I'm very much a fan of one shot stories where you get everything all there, with a nice moral at the end or something like that, and But did you carry on collecting all the way to adulthood, or did you stop at some point?
I stopped in the 1980s, the late 1980s. I had bought a Fantastic Four number 12, the first meeting with the Hulk, and I also had bought a Fantastic Four number 4.
Oh, wow.
And I gave them to my brother, and I just said, no, I'm not interested anymore. I'm gonna do other things. And then later, the bug came back. I gotta have comics. I don't know what it is. It went away for a while, and then I thought, man, I really miss those comic books, and I got the bug again.
Yeah,
and started collecting.
When was it you stopped collecting? Was you like when you like got into like your teenage years, you started discovering girls and pubs and that kind of thing, or?
Actually, it was when I was in my late 20s. My late
Okay,
20s. I
so you
got
carried
into
on,
movies.
right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think everyone has. It just seems a lot of the people in the comic community. It seems that they've coming back recently to collecting comics. It seems like even like with myself, I'd stopped collecting for about 5 years, and I was just looking for something to put on my channel. And so I thought, why don't I just show off my comic books? See if anyone's interested. And then when I started finding out there was other people doing comic books, and I was looking at the comic books that they were buying, and they just like totally rekindled like my interest again. Because I sort of started collecting old books because that was the period that I enjoyed the most. And it was like, why am I, don't worry about the modern books. It was the modern books that were getting me sort of down a bit with the price and so forth. So I was just like, I've got to kind of buy these old ones that I missed out on the first time around.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell you, I really loved the story, Fantastic Four #4, the Silver Age appearance of Neymar. And,
right. That's got to be a good one now.
I gave it away to my brother, but I thought later, the one thing about it that I had a problem with is some person had wrote their name almost on every page. Rufus I. Nichols, Rufus I. Nichols. And I was like, not the whole comic book. Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably. Is your brother still collecting? Your brother collects now? Did he sort of collect all the way through, or?
He's buying them as investments, and he's paying a lot of money for what he does. Yeah.
Right. But when you were kids, did you like share each other's comic books? Did he buy like a certain character and you'd buy a character and then you'd swap them afterwards, or?
Sometimes, but my brother was sort of how do we put it? He was sort of devilish.
Right.
He'd say, well, I don't know if I really want to give this one up, and I want it really bad, and he wouldn't part with it. And then later on, he'd ask me for a bunch of stuff.
Right. Okay, brothers, eh? My brothers, like, they like to read comics, but they wouldn't buy any. So they always wanted to read my comics, but they would never go out and buy their own comics. So, and it would be like, they want to read it, but I say, yeah, all right, I'll let you read my comics, but I'm reading them first. And I would never let anyone read my comics before I'd read them. It's sort of like they're mine. I have to read them first, kind of thing. I think that's fair enough. Right. So, what's the third comic you got to share memories with us today? Are we on number 3?
Well,
we are on number 3, aren't we? I've lost track of what number we're on. I'm always doing this, losing track of what number I'm on.
I think we're on number 3 now.
Right. Yeah, I thought we were, but I don't trust my brain.
This is actually a giveaway.
Right.
From Nabisco, Oreo cookie giveaway. And it's 3 of the stories of Batman. It's the first appearance of Batman.
Yeah.
The first appearance of the Joker and the first appearance of Robin in one comic.
First appearance of Robin. Okay. Yeah. So it's not a proper facsimile. It's just like the facsimile of 3 different stories from 3 different periods, I take it, because they didn't all appear in the same comic originally, did they?
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I get you. So it's a reprint of a few different stories from different comic books.
Yeah, and that's what's made it so valuable. This on eBay is selling for what I consider to be obscene prices. Really obscene.
It's crazy that like some reprints are worth as much as some modern comics or some good keys. They're right up there. It's just for reprints.
Yeah. They really go nuts.
Is it because it's a special promotional one as well? Was it Nabisco? Did you say? Is that one of the reasons that it's added the extra value to it?
Yeah.
I think Roger's got green eyes going on. He says, "I love the giveaways. Newsprint cover too." And he said, "No, I don't have it yet." So watch out for Roger. He might be popping over to borrow that from you at some point.
Well, that's okay. I have more than one of these. I have more than one. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good.
It's really I like the first appearance of the Joker in this one. It's it's really a fun read, but the cover is newsprint like the rest of the comic.
Yeah, what you were saying that, and if it's even got on the back page as well. You've got the comic on the back page rather than an actual like a normal comic book back page that you have.
Yeah.
That's interesting. How did you come to get that then? Was that one of those ones you had to like collect so many tops off of a cereal packet or something like that? How did you get that?
I had to eat so many Oreo cookies. But my mom and my dad and me love Oreo cookies, so we bought, and it was like 4 proofs of purchase.
Right.
And then we sent those away, and they mailed it to me, and I was just, I went nuts. I was so happy.
Yeah.
So happy.
So is that the original one? Is that the original one that you got from them as well? How long ago was that? How long ago was it you ate them cookies and got that comic?
1984.
Right.
1984. And this is not the original. I had to buy this off eBay, and I was more than a little angry at how much they made me pay for it.
So you don't have the original? You lost the original one, did you? Or
no, I think I was a kid and I didn't take very good care of my comics, and so it wound up in the garbage.
Oh man, that's a shame.
Yeah.
You got any more comic horror stories of stuff that you did that you wish now you hadn't done, other than giving your comics away and putting them in the rubbish?
There was a time I spilled coffee on a comic book.
Oh,
and,
dear.
That was it was. I ruined my day. Day.
Yeah. One thing I used to do, I used to read my comics in the bath. So I'd lie in the bath and a stack of comics went next to me on the bath, and I'd be reading them in the bath like that. And I think I've managed to avoid getting them too wet, but it couldn't have been too smart of a thing to do, to be honest. But I don't think I ruined any completely. But yeah. You don't think about them like how they might appreciate in price and that kind of thing. Yeah.
I'm amazed at how many of the older ones have water damage.
Yeah.
The ones I buy on eBay, almost everyone has some kind of water damage, and it's just you can't get around it.
No. Yeah, these things happen, don't they? Like you see sometimes. I think was it Bub bought a comic, like an old golden age comic, and it's got like a coffee ring on it, like where someone put their coffee cup on it. It's got a ring on. I think that was Bub, but it's like a really kind of rare old golden age one, and it's like sometimes you just got to take what you can get, what you can afford, Right. So a little bit of wear and tear hopefully gets the price down. Never been much of a stickler for a condition, to be honest. I just want to have the comics. So if it's a little bit like wear and tear, as long as it's reasonably presentable, then I'm happy with it, really.
Yeah.
So
sorry. I did pick up X-Men #3. And there was water damage on that, but I don't care. I was so happy to have that.
Yeah. That's a good one. Any of the single figure like old comics series, you can't sort of knock them. If you can get them in a nice low one, then you're laughing at you, really. So would you say have you still got all your comics, or ones you never give to your brother? How many comics do you reckon you've got nowadays?
I have about 200. About 200.
Okay. So is that mainly the ones that you've bought recently? When did you sort of get back into buying on eBay? When was that? Very recently, or?
Pretty recently. That was probably about 2010. 2010 I started. Yeah.
And what have you got, like any kind of goals that you were looking to get to with your collection at the moment, or is it just you buy whatever catches your fancy at the time?
I want to buy the first Fantastic Four.
Wow.
They had that at a comic shop here in Tucson. I found it, and they wanted $4,000, and I thought, I can't afford that.
Nah, I couldn't afford that, but that's kind of doable, like with a bit of saving and that kind of thing. 4,000 isn't like way up there. Like some of the old like early run comic books are just ridiculous. Like first Justice League of America is probably like 30 grand or something like that, and it's just like some of them are just like pie in the sky kind of money.
Yeah. I knew that comic wouldn't last long. I was trying to get a hold of money. I was trying to get a credit card from my bank, and they sold it. They sold it very quickly. It didn't stay long.
Yeah. How long ago was it going for that price?
That was in 2016. 2016.
Right. So it may have gone up significantly since then. You don't know.
Oh yeah, it's gone way up.
Yeah.
I mean, they want a ridiculous amount of money for Fantastic Four #1 in 2.5 to 3.0 condition.
Yeah.
Which is just good, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, it's these old comics, and they're getting older all the time, aren't they? They're getting probably rarer, and I don't know. Anyway, we can only dream.
Yes.
Everyone wants to win the lottery so they can complete their wish list of comic books.
Oh yes, I would love to win the lottery. Oh, that would make me so happy.
Yeah, that'd be the first thing you purchase comic wise. Would be Fantastic Four #1. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I get it in really.
You went a bit quiet there.
Yeah.
Can you see us all right? Is it frozen or can you not?
I can't hear you.
Ah, that's annoying. Can anyone in chat hear me? I can hear you all right. Is it frozen or something?
I can't hear you for some reason.
Right, let's just type it in here. I hear you. If you actually see the chat. I don't know what's going on there.
Huh.
I don't know what happened there. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? No? What's going on? Just show another comic book. Just show another comic. Come move to the next comic and I'll let you talk. You talk and I'll just be quiet. You show the comic book. No, it's not. It's not muted. Just show another comic, mate. Show another comic. Can anyone in chat hear me?
Can you hear me now?
No, I can hear you fine.
No, I can't hear you though.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what's going on. Oh, crud.
Just show another comic if you can. Show another comic. Oh. Let's put you in full screen.
All right. I found this in 1982, and I love the cover. And when I read the story inside, I loved. This is kind of a. It's kind of a retelling of an older Batman story. The first appearance of the monk and Dela, and they're both vampires, and Robin gets kidnapped by them. It's a great comic. Really good. A lot of fun to read.
Okay. I don't know what's going on because I can hear you fine, and there doesn't seem to be any muted or anything on my. Can you hear me now? Oh, you've got no headphones on now.
Yeah. I love this story. Love this story.
Okay.
Really good.
Put your headphones back on. Your headphones. Try. See if you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Plug it into the. Yeah, I think it's his headset. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's my my favorite Batman story, right there. Love the Batman.
All right.
Not as much as the Hulk, but I love him.
Yeah. So he's your favorite DC guy, yeah? Can you hear me now?
One picks on Robin.
I don't think you can hear me.
Yeah, Robin is a good character. Robin is a good character. The original Robin, not Jason Todd, the later whatever his name is.
Okay.
The original Robin is Dick Grayson is awesome.
Right. You can't hear me though, can you? No. we're best just end it then. I think if you can't hear me, it makes it a bit tricky to actually carry on.
Huh. That's funny because I can see you, but I can't hear you at all. This is really.
It must be your headset.
Don't know.
It must be your headset.
Yeah.
If I had a pen and paper, I could write something down. Can you see? Oh. I take it you can't see the chat. We best just end it, I suppose. This you got another comic. So it's all gone pear shaped. I think that was 5. Was that 5 comics? Did you show 5 then? Did you show 5 comics already now? You showed 5. We might as well end it then. We might as well say goodbye. We'll say goodbye because if we can't hear each other. I think everyone can hear me. I think they can. We don't know sign language. If anyone knows sign language, but yeah. All right. So thanks for coming on. If you listen back to this, you'll hear me thanking you. And cheers for coming on. Hi NDT. Right, we're gonna shoot off now, and because we can't, for some reason, I think it must be your headphones not working, but we'll work it out. Anyway, but bye everybody. Thanks for coming on, and it ended a little bit messily there, but what can you do? Please, anyone who wants to come and have a comic chat with me at some point, then yeah, it's irresponsible to fight crime with children. It's very true. But back in the day, they was trying to appeal to children, weren't they? So, you know, but yeah, hit me up. Anyone who wants to come and have a comic chat with me sometime, and make sure you tune into my blog later. And I've got a walkies video going up in about an hour. I've actually really done something very silly, and he's come back. Let's see if he's come back and you can hear him. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Yes. Okay. I was just saying goodbye to everybody because I think you showed all your comic books anyway. Was it your headphones or?
No, it was. I had to turn on this stupid phone. I had to raise the volume, and so I put it on maximum. Yeah, my phone is terrible.
All right then. So that last one, that number 5, was your Batman one, wasn't it? You said.
Yeah.
Who was the villain in that one?
The villain is actually, it's a revamp of an old character called the Monk.
Oh, the Monk. Yeah, that's right. I remember you saying, yeah. Wasn't that like a classic cover back in the day? Wasn't there a classic cover on the original Monk?
Yes, it was. And Neil Adams did something similar.
Yeah, I think he did a homage to it a few years later, which is another very, very expensive, very sought-after book. I've said goodbye to everyone now, so everyone's toodled off. But cheers for coming on, mate. Have you got anything coming up on your channel this week or next week? Anything you want to share with people?
Well, no. I'm going to have more cat videos, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I thought they made an appearance. I thought they might have come in and like nudged your camera or something like that, but maybe they're feeling shy.
Well, Noodles is outdoors and about, and Zoey is kind of old, so I've got to be very careful how I pick her up.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
she's an old girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cheers for coming on, mate, and it was great chatting with you. Shame we had some problems with the headphones there, but you know, these things happen.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No worries, mate. It was all good fun. These things are sent to try us and all that, and it's no like a massive disaster. Not the end of the world, as they say. Worst things happen at sea. Cheers, mate, and bye to everyone in chat. Thanks for coming on, Richard. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
I'll see you in the comments section. Yeah, and you, mate.
All right.